up, guys? Chaz Burks here with Go Guitar Live, and today I'm going to show you 3 different licks that are basically emulating a pedal steel guitar, and one of them is going to be a behind the nut bend. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so you're going to need a delay pedal or a reverb pedal that gives you sort of a longer slapback. Okay, so or a longer delay. I have mine set pretty dark. You can hear it's kind of a longer one, so it kind of fills the room, fills that space in between. Otherwise, these pedal steel licks just feel a little dry without them. Now that's without doing the swells that you would hear, and if you don't have a Telecaster, I think you can do these on Strats. I don't have a Strat to really see that, to visualize it, but basically I have my little finger right here on the volume, so you can hit a string. Basically what you're doing is you're picking, and then you're kind of rolling, you're sort of contorting your hand, so you're hitting and then pulling that up and then putting it back down. So if you can just do that with a single note, you get that violin sound. Kind of neat, sort of a neat trick. But with these swells or these bends, you get kind of a neat little volume up and down while you are bending up and down, and then so it sounds really cool. But let's show you. Imagine, I'm going to let you work on that. That actually took quite a bit of time to get that feel down. Now it's kind of more of a natural thing. But here's the lick, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the 15th fret on both the B and the E string, and we're going to bend the B up and hit and leave the E where it is. So you hear it goes up, and then while that's up, just hit the E, and then after you hit the E, let the pick come up, hit the B string, and release. Up, hit the E, and then let it release down. Okay? You want to do that down here, so that's the same lick all the way down. It's pretty easy. Once you get that, the rest of them are the same thing. So you're going to come down to 10, come down to 8, and then down to 3. 3rd fret right there. So we have 15, 10, 8, and 3. And you can end with a G chord if you want. Kind of cool. Now if you get the swell down, so with the swell, I'm not going to be so much worried about doing the picking. So with the swell, it's you're not picking as much. You're hitting it and then pulling it, opening up the volume, and letting it resolve. So you see my hand still doing this, and then the last one, 3. If I can get a good shot of that. Sorry, I'm not, True Fire or any of these guys have 2 cameras here to set this up. But you get the idea. It's the same thing all the way down. So work on just doing this with the E string. So what happens is that delay sort of repeats the swell too, so you get this really cool ambient sound. Alright, so that was lick 1. So here's the next one. This one's a little bit tougher. It's just tougher on the hands, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bar the E string and the B string right here on the 12th fret. I'm going to bend the 14th up a whole step. We're going to bend it up from 11 to 13, but we're going to go. So you can gauge yourself. Pretty far up there. But what you're going to do is you're going to have to play these 2 strings with it. If you go too far, or if you don't bend up high enough, you get this minor sound. So you don't want that. You want, see that? Okay, so, and I'm just pulling these, or you can go, or use your swell. Your volume is your swell. If you don't have that, use the volume pedal. We're going to keep that same shape. We're going to go up here to 17, 17, 16. That's your A. That's an A swell. It sounds really cool. If you have, an acoustic player who's playing, you just want to do backup for them, just do these all night. Back up to E, which is 12. Now we're going to go down to B, and that's going to be 7. I just tried to pick chords that were all in the key of E, and then you just play an E. So we have E. If you can't do the swell, you can do the Aussie thing. Actually, I think. Anyway, so and so on. And then the last one is the E, and this one's such a brutal, bend. You're basically going to play these two strings, the D or the A and the D, here on 15, and you're basically playing. If you ever played a bar chord right there, this what you have without the bar. This is what you're going to get to, but you're going to bend from 11 to 13, same way you did here, but you're going to go, it's kind of like the reverse of that. Really far bend, and it's hard to do with your first finger, but over time you'll get used to it. So exact same thing, you're just playing these two strings instead. Okay, and you can do that with A if you wanted to. And that's over here with 19, 19, and then you're bending 16 up to 18. So, and that's the A and the D that you're playing 19 on. Okay, so you have all those down. The third one is a behind the nut. And what I'm doing is I'm playing A and E. And these are probably the two easiest ones. So you can just strum an A2. And that's just an A with the open B string. An A chord with the open B string. So basically you're playing, just 2 and on the D string and 2 on the G string. And what you're going to do is you're going to bend this note, the B string. I'm going to do it here with my left hand, which is what you shouldn't do for right now. So you're going to bend up to that note right there, C sharp. Now when you mix that, my finger is almost touching the wood right there, pushing that string down that far. So that will leave a little mark on your thumb too by doing that, because this hand's probably not used to pushing down strings. Okay, kind of cool. I love that sound. Now for E, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to take off basically playing an E minor. And you're going to bend the G string. This one's a little bit easier in some ways because you're just bending a half step or 1 fret instead of 2 frets. That's the note you're looking for, the G sharp. Now, for some reason, most of my guitars tend to go out of tune if I do too many of these behind the nut bends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the E. Or you can just play like the bottom 4 strings or the top 4, or whatever way you want. And so I bent that G string up just enough to give me an E major instead of minor. And you can do it here too. If you do the harmonics on the 12th fret, 12, 12, 12, and then bend that G string up, you'll get an E major. Try it. So you get that. Okay, so that's your E minor to major. All right, those are your 3 licks right there. Hope you enjoyed them, and just please subscribe if you can, and leave a comment of what you think. All right, till next time.